Well, hi there. Well, I actually got Monday off of work, which is something I haven't been able to do for a while. Is get a fucking day off. So I'm gonna sit here and do another one of these tonight. I'm still not posting stuff from this week, just this past weekend. I'm posting stuff from last weekend. I still have a few I wanted to get done. Well. Don't know what to tell you. I mean, we mainly just play the same maps over and over, don't we? And I don't, obviously I never get enough of this game. But I suppose there's not. I suppose what to a lot of people, one of these matches looks much like another. But I don't know. I suppose every video game looks pretty much like all the others, and I feel it's character building, all of this. It's kind of like life, you're constantly fighting against certain death, and for no reason, and it's all pointless because you're going to die anyway, and nobody loves you, and the whole 9 yards. That's kind of the way it goes, I suppose. I guess my major conundrum at this point is I have no idea what video game to go to if I can't play this one anymore. So. Well, I guess I'll have to worry about that one of these days. Well. I still have that UT4 loaded up. I'm hoping at some point it'll be developed to the point where it has vehicles and something like a warfare mode. That'd be nice. Well, anything's possible, anything's possible, I suppose. We've got NASA over there saying they've invented a warp drive. I'll believe it when I see it. Oh Lord.
Man the Nightshade.
I saw that guy comment. It's cases like that. It's just a matter of getting the right weapon out in time. It actually takes a lot longer to switch weapons here than it seems like when you need one in a hurry. I don't think I had an arrow right there anyway. Yeah, NASA thinks they've invented a warp drive, and so on and so forth. But every other day I read about miracle batteries that have just been invented that'll let you, run your car for a year on a AAA battery or something crazy shit like this. This stuff never happens, It's just news. The reporters don't know what they're talking about. The people that develop it, were incapable of making the reporter understand what he's. I should grab the blue look right. Incapable of making the reporter understand what they're doing. They show them this invention, and they're like, well, maybe someday it'll be useful. Right now, it's completely impractical. And the reporter goes apeshit and says, "My God, they've cured cancer." It's just constant with crap like this. I think there's only like about 8 or 9 people in this match. This is one of these matches where we're doomed to lose, obviously. Yeah, we're only down about 20 points now. Yep. I'm still watching the reaction engines people closely. It's only maybe, I'm hoping that in 5 short years or so, they're actually going to build a single stage to orbit vehicle, which will, definitely revolutionize spaceflight. There's no doubt about it. We may actually see some of these Mars missions and other crazy shit like that going on. If they screw around and start building things with the Sabre engine. The Sabre engine is amazing. When I was in, maybe about 20 years ago, I was all excited about the scramjet, because I had just read about that. And to me, that was a miracle. The scramjet was going to revolutionize spaceflight, Couldn't wait to see him develop a scramjet. Well, come to find out that making an actual vehicle powered by a scramjet is not really all that easy to do. In fact, it's pretty much impossible. The problem being that your scramjet is so ridiculously simple, and yet well, I'm not an engineer, but my understanding of it is that the interior geometry of the engine is the crucial thing, and you can't really build something like that and then incorporate like a ramjet into it or anything like that, which means that basically your scramjet is going to have some kind of external boosting engine on it to allow you to get it up to like around Mach 5, which is what you have to do before you can even turn the scramjet on. The scramjet doesn't work unless it's already moving around Mach 5, and how do you get the vehicle moving to Mach 5 if you can't incorporate a ramjet or some other kind of engine into the engine itself? Well, you got to strap an engine onto it, don't you? Like a rocket in most cases. With these test scramjets, that's what they do, is they strap a rocket to it, or they mount it on the end of a rocket and they shoot it off with a rocket, to get it up to speed to where they can turn the scramjet on. Which is kind of defeats the whole purpose if you're talking about building a single-stage to orbit vehicle. I mean, the whole point of a single-stage to orbit vehicle is you don't have all these expendable stages strapped onto them. You can't do that, and the whole concept is kind of shot to hell from the beginning. Well, that was very disappointing to me with the scramjet, but come to find out that these clever British people had been thinking about this for a long time already, and they've been working on the hotel project a long time ago. Kept on working on it after everybody else gave up and went home. Came up with the Sabre engine, which is not a scramjet at all. Although I've seen a reporter call it a scramjet, but it is most definitely not a scramjet. It's still unbelievable to me. I mean, to make this thing work, they have to have this intercooler that cools down the air coming in the front of the engine about 1,000 degrees in a tenth of a second, which seems impossible to me. And yet they say it works, and the Air Force says it works, and everybody I've read about that's tested it says it works. So if that's the case, then I'd say yeah, okay, well, you've got an engine, I guess. And I hope the Air Force picks up on it, you know. I hope they don't just pick it up and then kill it or something like that. I mean, if it works, man, they need to build it for sure. I really... Oh, look at that. You bastard, you can't do that. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty exciting for me. This Elon Musk character with his reusable rockets and shit, you know, that's all well and good, but all that shit's going to be completely obsolete if they get something better coming along the line, you know, like the single-stage to orbit vehicle, which is really what space flight requires. You know.
I have the orb.
Elon Musk needs to work on getting that car company business together, man, and screw all this other stupid shit. What is with all these tycoons, man? They make all this quick money, and then they want to start building rockets. You know? What a waste of time. You know, like that John Carmack from ID did it. Seriously. You know, I mean, if you want a hobby, you know, what's wrong with building miniature V8 engines or something, or cultivating bonsai trees? You know? Why the hell you gotta make rockets? I mean, it's just as useless. You're not gonna colonize space with rockets. They're fucking worthless. Oh well. Well, the rate these people are going, they might come up with some kind of miracle. You gotta hate it when they do that. That's Bob Novus up there in the Nemesis who loved it. That's a horrible tactic. It's really hard to deal with that bastard when he gets up there. You can't get up close enough to him to take him out. Of course, I never dare to do it because I'd die if I tried it. Some smart aleck would just run right up and kill me. I can probably get a few arrows into him. That's probably the best I'm going to do. I got one into him. He took off
Blue
half my
core
health.
is
You
critical.
need to be careful
Blue
about
core
making the second
flooding.
approach here. Fire off this way and come around this way. Maybe they'll fixate on the
Grab the
arrow.
Redeemer. Blue core is vulnerable.
Yeah, he's coming after me.
Grab the Redeemer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something to hope for.
Blue core is secure.
Not that it matters as much to me. I mean, I'm getting older than dirt anyway. I'm gonna be dead before any of this stuff happens anyway, I suppose, with the rate this shit is going. Yep, gonna be a geriatric case. I'm gonna be far too old to go flying into space, that's for sure. That's a great disappointment to me too, you know. It'd be worthwhile just to be a dumb kid again, just to be the right age when if any of this shit ever actually literally gets off the ground, to be able to be involved in some way, you know, in terms of actually going somewhere. Well, oh god, a little too slow there.
Blue core is critical.
Yeah, it kind of looks like this is gonna be over pretty quick, but I think we're gonna slow it down just a little bit and probably make a little bit of a comeback here, which is probably the reason I'm posting this. Now that I think of it. That NASA warp engine, man, that's pretty amazing to me. I can't get over that. That's not gonna work. They're screwing around trying things there. That's some of there's at least one of these guys that with the Viper can arrange to fling you incredibly far with that vehicle, and I'm not sure exactly how he does it, but that was what he was doing just there. Yeah, that NASA warp engine is just absolutely amazing. I don't know. You got to take shit like that with a grain of salt, man. You know. Of course, you know NASA doesn't make any of the claims for it that the morons reading about it do. You got these people reading about, you know, I'm going to go totally insane. You know, because you know they think that, oh god, look at that shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna let you do that.
Grab the Redeemer.
Yeah, you know, they think NASA is gonna build a warp drive and get into interstellar travel. You know, NASA doesn't think anything like that. You know, they think they might be able to use it for to get to Mars or something, which would be amazing enough, actually.
Attack the center node.
But you know, it's a case of will wonders never cease. You know, I mean, the way these news stories keep coming out, it looks like, you know, NASA might actually go crazy and try to launch some kind of interstellar thing before I die. You know, which would be just utterly amazing. I mean, I don't believe it, but the way these newspaper stories read, you know, sometimes I wonder, you know, who knows what the hell they'll come up with. I would have always thought that such things were completely impossible. I mean, I buy that theory that there's the old question about, you know, well, if the universe is full of aliens, and it does appear that there are a hell of a lot of planets circling other stars, and it's hard to believe that none of them have life, you know. You know, there's the old question that you know, if the universe is full of aliens, you know, and if space travel is possible, then why aren't they here? You know, you get that once in a while. And the obvious answer that I've always bought into is that, well, the reason they're not here is because it's either just physically not possible, or even if it's physically possible, it's not economically feasible to go around launching interstellar missions. I mean, I can understand that it might be technically possible. I mean, it's technically possible for us to launch an interstellar mission even now. You know, we could rig something up and stick people on it, point it in the right direction, and it would get to Alpha Centauri in 10,000 years. But it's not economically feasible, you know. You'd have a hard time selling that to a set of investors you'd need some investors because it would be incredibly expensive. It's a case of that. I think. That's why you don't see these. They're not, and you're not going to. It's just as well anyway. Because they really wouldn't be. They wouldn't be jumping out of their spaceships and getting ready to do us all kinds of favors. They'd probably give us some glass beads and.
Red core is vulnerable. Red core is under attack.
They'd probably give us some glass beads and make us sign some kind of contract. Before you know it, they'd be moving into New York and executing everybody. Killing us off with their interstellar diseases, kind of thing. Just as well.
Red core is secure. Attack the enemy.
Yeah, that's our comeback. Yeah, we've got the entire map. Oh, yeah, that's probably the end of the comeback there.
Attack the center
This guy's
node.
just gonna jump right now. We got him anyway. Yep, but we lost the center, so that's the end of that. Aha, totally missed with that flash shot, didn't I? And that one too. Oh, got him that
Attack
time.
the enemy prime node. Attack the enemy prime node.
Oh well. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I worry about. Although I don't really need to worry about it. I guess the only thing I really need to worry about is getting my car rebuilt or coming up with a replacement for it.
Defend the floodgate node.
That kind of bothers me. You know, you see all these amazing things on the news all the damn time, but yet nobody can seem to build an economical car that doesn't cost an arm and a fucking leg. I mean, I'm all for fuel economy, but it kind of defeats the purpose if I have to pay $30,000 to get it. Seriously. I mean, I don't mean to gripe and be I don't mean to be a spoil sport and gripe and all this kind of shit, but I paid less than $30,000 for my fucking house, okay? I'm not spending $30,000 on a fucking car. I'm just not gonna do it. It ain't gonna happen.
Attack the enemy prime node. Red core is vulnerable.
Guy just jumped up there and grabbed that motherfucker. I was hoping to stop him. Yeah, I knew he was going to get it. Well, I guess he must have got killed. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just barely managed to get out of the way. I knew that motherfucker was coming. Seen him jump in there and grab it. It's amazing that we've held on this long, but it's not going to help us. This is actually going to overtime, I believe. That's what's going to happen. We're just going to time out. I mean, if we could get our shit together and take the enemy prime and then hit and do a shitload of damage on the core, that's really the only thing that can save us. But we've only got 2 minutes to do it. It's not going to happen.
Man the Nightshade. Red
Yeah, I
core
don't know.
is vulnerable. 2 minutes remain.
World of video games, I guess, has gotten pretty jaded, I suppose. People have just had too many toys. I have my own theories about it. You know, I feel like the developers are out of ideas. You know, they know the basic formats and they don't really know what to do except variations on them. And everybody's fixated on graphics. You know, the engine developers are out here, you know, trying to incorporate. What if we can incorporate photonic quantum effects into our game engine? You know, and it's bullshit. You know, nobody cares. You know, they all look the same after a while. I mean, realistic graphics is not well. There's lots of people that realize that. That's why you have these voxel games out here. You know, Minecraft and all that crap. And you've got things like
Grab the Redeemer.
I forget what I was talking about. Well, anyway, you know, I feel like if they put more effort into the scripting and less into the graphics, they'd be better off. You know, like I was thinking about variations on this game. You know, like for example, I was thinking, well, what if you incorporate some kind of command structure? You know, like everybody on this game likes to tell each other what to do all the time, and then occasionally you get some wiseacre. This is not going to work. What am I doing? Oh, this is my stupid idea. I'm going to try to fly this. This never works. You know, I always feel like I ought to be able to make that. You know, that nuke ought to be able to fly in that door, just make a left-hand turn, and get. I probably could have took out the node of that too.
9, 8,
But I always blow it right there. I always hit the door.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, my thinking was, you know, you could put something into the script where, you know,
Red core is vulnerable.
you can tell people what to do, and if they don't do it, then they have to play on the other team the next time or something. Or some stupid shit. I had this worked out.
Red core is secure.
The idea was that
Attack
you could
the
have a set of
enemy
rules that
prime
would dynamically force the teams into a configuration where everybody on the same team was working together, you know. And if they didn't, then they'd switch sides, and eventually you'd have a team that was full of people that did not work together at all. But you see, if they did that, then since they weren't cooperating with that team, they'd be switched back again the next time.
Attack the floodgate node.
On the whole, it's probably a stupid idea, but
Grab the blue core destroyed.
but anyway, that was yeah. I do think they ought to do more stuff. I've run out of time with this shit, haven't I? Yes. Oh yes. Well, I guess I have just enough time to take a nap and go back to work. Yeah. Maybe I'll pick up on that later time. Next time. Maybe.